we are going to start off today's video by putting on some new valve cover gaskets. Saw last one I put in some new valve cover gaskets, some kind of like rubber-ish ones, because the cork gaskets were cooked. But I ordered the right ones. These ones have a little channel in them, and I'll kind of show you why that's important for these valve covers, because you know Volkswagens, you know that they leak out of pushrod tube seals and out of the valve covers. So get this thing up in the air and chuck those babies on. Number one, you can see that it was split at the top, but that wasn't the issue. It's just that these valve cover gaskets are made for stock style valve cover, which I'll show you. As you can see with the stock ones, it kind of just sits in that channel there, but with these aftermarket ones, not the same. So kind of just clean up here a little bit. You don't want all this crap in there. So these valve cover gaskets are much different. So as you can see, they have this little channel here, and essentially the purpose of that is so that you'll just kind of slip, the valve cover will kind of just slip into that channel. And then, because these are good valve covers, they have bolts on them, so then you can tighten it down a little bit more. Hopefully it won't leak as bad. We should be good with that. If they ever start leaking, I think I can just tighten up those bolts. Should stop the leak. So as you can probably guess, I have an air leak on this side, and I think what my biggest problem is that a lot of these hard lines have burrs on them. So basically what will happen is it won't allow the push connect fittings to seal properly. So I'm going to pull this line off and see if that's the problem. Throw it back on, and hopefully it doesn't leak as much. Okay, I believe I fixed that side. If not, then I might do the same thing that I did to this side, where I just had the line go straight to the bag instead of having to go around a corner like it is. But next thing is that speaker is not doing anything, so I think the wire's just disconnected on the speaker itself, so we'll pull that out real quick, try to fix it. It's not disconnected. I'm gonna turn stereo on real quick, see if messing with the wires does anything. So what I think has happened is that I've blown up this speaker. So we're going to swap it out with one of the ones in the rear. I don't think I've blown up. I don't know how I managed to blow it up, but I did. Because I don't have these currently hooked up, because I need to find a 5-channel amp. I'm just gonna steal one of these. Alright, so got the car back up in the air. I'm going to try to fix this side. I'm going to show you what I mean by it going, the airline going around a corner, and that being the main reason why it leaks. And then we'll see if we can fix it. Alright, so you can kind of see that, how it goes out of the bag and then it has to go around that corner. And I think that's just the biggest reason why it's leaking, is it's not really easy to do something that precise with the hard line. Even though it is better for more precise things, it's just insanely hard to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole directly above the fitting, and then we'll just run our line straight down into it. Then it has less of a tendency to leak. Alright, it's not perfect. I think it's the fitting, honestly. So what I'm gonna probably have to do is order the metal fittings, like I've said a million times before, but I'll wait till next month when I get paid. I'm gonna tighten up the... I'm going to tighten up... Wrong bracket again. I'm going to tighten up valve cover again because it looks like it was just barely leaking out of there. Get our compressor going again. I start wire feed welding next month in school, so I'll be able to hopefully start doing stainless. Then I can fix this stupid tank. Hopefully that doesn't leak anymore. Can you guess what happened? I thought that I fixed the leak-ish, and then somehow the line on the bag just decided it was gonna go all wonky, and now it's stuck inside the fitting, which I suspected that the fitting was bad, so it's whatever. But the only fittings that I have are fittings that I've used before, and I can't remember if they're good or not. So we get to find out. I'm going to start off today by fixing this. I have these door panel clips, so we'll pull this panel off and try to get in as many clips as we can, because this is the passenger door, so you know, don't want them complaining. Okay, finally got it. Clean the windows off. Put a little bit of kill mat in there. You know, just a little bit more sound deadening. So you might be wondering what all of this is for. And I did film a lot of clips before, but they were not good. It's kind of boring. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is learn how to do paint stuff. So I bought a Harbor Freight spray gun a while back. I got some of this Roth metal flake over here. I got some Duplicolor paint shop paint and clear coat, and so what I wanted to do was paint my welding helmet, and so I did this test piece yesterday. Again, I filmed it, wasn't that good, and it looks alright on camera. It's kind of hard to show, but with the silver flake it just doesn't look that good, and I kind of realized that having a white metallic bright welding helmet probably not be the best, especially for other people. What my plan is going to be is I'm going to fix my makeshift paint booth, and then I'm going to essentially just sand down the welding helmet. Well, first I'll pull it apart, and then I'm going to sand down everything, you know, like get rid of the Miller logo. I've been using it, so obviously it's a little rough, but that's okay. I'm basically just gonna kind of wet sand it, make sure it's pretty smooth, and then I'm just gonna spray the clear coat on it with the metallic. See how it comes out. Hopefully it's not too terrible, but I'll have to sort of experiment with it. I think I finally kind of figured out how to use the spray gun. So, yeah. All of this is to say that I'm finally figuring out how to do this paint work stuff. Alrighty, got that pretty much all done. I'll let that dry for a while, and then we'll wet sand and buff it. Hopefully it's a little bit more sparkly, I hope. I just decided, hey, gotta use some of that clear coat with the flake in it. Might as well try something out. Speaker covers, whatever. Got that piece that goes on the front of the helmet. So yeah, let that dry. I got the paint gun all cleaned. That's sitting outside drying out. But hopefully this turns out pretty cool. Here it is before the cut and buff. This is after a cut and buff. I might have to wax it again just so it is absolutely perfectly shiny. But get this thing thrown together, just get that full effect, you know?